Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Erik Ten Hag is already putting plans in place. Should Man United appoint him as manager this summer? Erik Ten Hag wants to bring Robin van Persie back to Old Trafford as part of his backroom staff. Fabrizio Romano recently said that Ralf Rangnick has spoke very highly of Erik Ten Hag with the Man United board. He's helping in the process regarding a new manager. Erik Ten Hag is the top candidate to become Manchester United's next manager. Erik Ten Hag has a release clause of just over €2 million, and he's already said that Man United is a great club with great fans. A lot of Manchester United fans would like to see Erik Ten Hag become the next permanent manager. It'd be good for Erik Ten Hag to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. And if he comes to the Premier League, I'm convinced he'll replicate what he's done at Ajax. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, at Ajax, he's developed the young players well. You know, he's won some Dutch Cups, he's won a couple of Eredivisie titles. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Erik Ten Hag got appointed in as the Ajax manager back in December 2017, so he's been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. His contract expires next year. Ajax is the fourth club he's managing in his managerial career. Before Ajax managed Utrecht and before managed Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Mauricio Pochettino has been linked with the managerial role at Man United. Foot Mercato recently said that Pochettino sees himself at PSG for a long time. Pochettino's already mentioned that he wants to stay at PSG. He is under pressure at PSG. PSG may have to pay 17 million to sack Pochettino. Pochettino, not so long ago, got interviewed for the Manchester United job. The vast majority of Man United players would like to see Pochettino become the club's next manager. Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. Well, he's well proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial. Because before, he managed Tottenham and he managed Southampton. Pochettino has been the PSG manager for over a year. He has won a French Cup with them and his contract expires next year. Luis Enrique, Julian Lopetegui and Julian Nagelsmann have been on Man United's short list. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, the 4 managers we've sacked since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then Man United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under him. And then Man United sacked Jose Mourinho after, 2.5 years. He did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. But like I've said before, the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. So there you go. And Rangnick, I'd say he's on his way out of Manchester United. You know, he is under pressure, is Rangnick. He said a few weeks ago that Man United are considering sacking Rangnick. He's been Man United's interim manager for over 3 months. It initially said he's Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then he said he was expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But obviously the consultancy role is now in serious doubt. Rangnick has drawn a lot of games as Man United's interim manager. He's lost 4 games in all competitions as United's interim manager. It's mentioned a few times that Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. But he won't get the permanent Man United job. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. He's enjoyed 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager and unfortunately didn't get backed in the January transfer window this year. Like I said to you, I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach. Earlier on this season, he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Earlier on this season, Rangnick mentioned that Man United's aim for this season is to finish in the top 4. Well, Man United's focus is finishing in the top 4 this season because we can't win a trophy this season. Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. We won't get top 4, I don't think, this season. I reckon Arsenal will get it. You know, Man United dropped more points yesterday against Leicester. Man United drew 1-1 with Leicester yesterday at Old Trafford. Obviously, Leicester's goal came from Iheanacho. Man United's equaliser came from Fred. We was lucky not to lose the game because James Maddison had a goal disallowed by VAR. The reason the goal got disallowed is because Varane got fouled in the build-up to the goal. You know, Man United have been playing catch-up since Ferguson retired, and a lot of Manchester United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time, he brought success to Man United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was Manchester United manager for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. And in the last 10 years or so, Man United have only won 4 trophies. The last time we won the Premier League was back in 2013. And in the last 10 years, Man United have spent over, 1.3 billion. And we've brought over 40-odd players in since Ferguson retired. You know, when we had Moyes, he brought 2 players in. When we had Van Gaal, he brought a good, 15, 16 players in, was it? Mourinho, when he was United manager, he recommended 11 players into the club, and when Solskjaer was Man United manager, he brought around 14 players in. Let me put into the equation, Rangnick has obviously been inheriting players from other managerial eras. None of this squad is Rangnick's. We have got to get the Glazers out of the club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years now. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to a few weeks ago, it said the Glazers were planning to demolish Old Trafford. I said, should Old Trafford be demolished? Man United, it said we're looking to upgrade the stadium. Looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000 at the moment. Old Trafford holds around 75,000. Old Trafford is the second biggest stadium in England. Man United have played in the same stadium for 112 years. It was good news from a Man United perspective that Ed Woodward stepped down earlier on this year, because he was one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. He was accountable for how poor our recruitment policy was and all that. Woodward, though, was Man United's vice chairman for around 17 years. Earlier on this year, Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward as the new chief executive. In the summer of this year, I am expecting Manchester United to make signings. I reckon Man United need a holding midfielder. We also need a striker. On the other side of things this summer, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club. So this summer, Edison Cavani will leave. The last time I read up, it said Cavani was close to agreeing a move to Real Sociedad. Cavani held talks with Real Sociedad. He's also been linked with a move to Brazil. Cavani is out of contract in the summer. Man United got him on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. By the way, Cavani didn't play any part against Leicester yesterday because he's out with injury. Not so long ago, he had a groin injury. He's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. Martial, there's a good chance he'll leave permanently this summer. He's on loan at Sevilla at the moment. Sevilla have no option to buy Martial, but not so long ago there was rumours of a possible Martial and Harry Kane swap deal. Van der Beek, I reckon he'll leave permanently this summer. He's out on loan with Everton at the moment. Jesse Lingard will leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. He's not good enough, is he? Lingard doesn't really get in the team. He has been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy. Now, the second half of last season endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Lingard should have left in January. Juan Mata, he'll also leave this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Mata's endured 8 years at Man United. He's had a good career. Mata doesn't get in the team, does he? He lost his place in the team a while ago. Paul Pogba, good chance he'll be leaving Man United in the summer. Well, he's out of contract in the summer. Now I've been hearing that the club want Paul Pogba to stay. Pogba, I don't think's yet made a decision on his Man United future. Pogba has been in negotiations with a couple of Premier League clubs. Real Madrid, PSG and his former club Juventus have been in for him. So Pogba has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Pogba's trainer claimed earlier on this season that he will leave Old Trafford. Matic, he'll leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. And I've always had my reservations about him, as you all know. He's always been a static midfielder, plus he's aging up. He's not one of our first choice midfielders, Matic, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. Is he up the predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment? Matic has been at Man United for over 4 years. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 in a deal worth £40 million. Jones and Bailly also expecting them to leave in the summer because they don't really get in the team. Harry Maguire will leave Man United this summer as well. Harry Maguire's Man United future is in doubt. Man United are prepared to sell Maguire this summer. He's not good enough to represent the club. Maguire played against his former club Leicester yesterday. He put a solid performance out, to be fair. He played as a right centre-half, and I think Rangnick is now keeping him in that position. You know, maybe he'll improve in that position. Can't understand how Harry Maguire is still Man United captain. You know, a lot of Man United fans throughout the course of this season have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire, but earlier on this season Rangnick said that Maguire would remain Man United captain until the end of the season. Man United overpaid for him, got him for 80 million, is the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and is the second most expensive sign at the club. He's been at Man United for over 2 years now and he's had quite a few injuries since he came. And Wan-Bissaka, Man United could look to sell him in the summer. You know, he's not good enough and he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick, you know, Diego Dalot. I can assure Henderson will leave this summer. Henderson's our second choice keeper, doesn't really get in goal. De Gea's our number one choice. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Rashford could possibly leave Man United this summer because he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Sources close to Football Insider said not so long ago that Rashford's told his friends he wants to quit Man United this summer, and Romano said earlier on this season that Rashford was considering his future with Man United as he was concerned about his lack of playing time. So there you go, and we've got a lot of players' contracts that do expire next year. I think Ronaldo will leave Man United next year. He won't leave this summer because earlier on this season AS said that Ronaldo has no plans to leave Man United this summer. He's willing to see out the final year of his contract. Earlier on this season Ronaldo held crunch talks with his agent Jorge Mendes over his Man United future. Ronaldo missed the game against Leicester yesterday because of illness. McTominay, could he leave next year? I think there's a good chance Fred could leave next year. Fred's not good, but I thought he played very well yesterday against Leicester. You know, he scored Manchester United's equalising. His movement was good in the game. He got into good positions and he won the ball back several times. Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk for around 50 million. We got him quite a few years ago now. Lindelof is another one that could leave Man United next year. Obviously, he's no longer one of our first choice centre-halves. He was one of our first choice centre-halves before, obviously, Varane came in. Telles and Dalot could leave next year unless they leave this summer. You know, like I said, Telles and Dalot are our first choice full-backs under Rangnick. You know, do you think De Gea could leave Man United next year? So now guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.